If you are shrinking back from a massive opportunity because you are terrified of failing, you are listening to the wrong voice. If you let fear win, you will miss your destiny. Today, you'll learn the Lion of Judah courage protocol to instantly borrow supernatural strength and crush your fear. Feels heavy, doesn't it? Like something important is right in front of you, and yet your body won't move. Maybe you've been telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow. Maybe you've been rehearsing every possible way it could go wrong, playing it over and over until even the idea of trying feels exhausting. And the worst part is, you know this matters. You know this could change something, but fear has a way of making you feel small before you even begin. And it's not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. A subtle voice that says, "What if you're not enough? What if this is where you fail?" So you pause, you delay, you shrink back. But let me ask you something gently. What is the one thing you would do today if you knew you couldn't fail? Don't rush past that. Sit with it for a second. Because that hesitation you feel right now, it's not just fear. It's intimidation trying to stop you before you even take the first step. There's a deeper truth here, one that fear doesn't want you to remember, because the moment you see it, something shifts inside you. Maybe you've always seen Jesus as gentle, safe, quiet, and he is, but that's not the full picture, because in Book of Revelation chapter 5, verse 5, there's this moment where everything changes, and a voice says, "Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah has triumphed." Not will triumph, as that means the battle you're afraid of has already been faced. The outcome you're worried about is not uncertain to him. And maybe no one has told you this in a way that really landed. But you are not walking into something fragile and unpredictable on your own, trying to earn a victory. You are stepping into a moment that has already been covered, already been seen, already been overcome by the one who stands with you. So the question isn't, can I win this? It becomes something else. What would change if you realized you're not fighting for victory but from it? This is where it becomes personal, not theoretical, not distant, right in the middle of your fear. Because that phrase, "do not weep," it isn't just comfort, it's a command. And maybe that feels strange, because you can't just switch emotions off, right? But this isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about deciding that fear doesn't get to lead you anymore, even if your hands are still shaking and your thoughts are still loud. So first, you acknowledge it. You don't push it down. You don't judge it. You just admit, "I'm scared, kropka. I don't know how this will go." And then gently, but firmly, you speak back. Stop. Not today. Because part of you has been letting fear narrate everything, letting it paint the future in the darkest possible way. And it's been exhausting, hasn't it? Carrying emotions that haven't even happened yet. So right now, try this quietly, in your own words. I see the fear, but I will not sit in it. That's the shift. Acknowledge the fear, and command the tears to stop. You don't have to manufacture courage. You were never meant to, because the moment you try to force yourself to be strong, you feel the gap, don't you? The pressure builds, your chest tightens, and it starts to feel like everything depends on you holding it together perfectly, without breaking, without hesitating. But this step is different. This is where you receive. Maybe you've been trying to fight fear with willpower alone. But what if courage isn't something you create? It's something you borrow, something you step into, because God is not distant from this moment. He is present in it, ready to meet you right where your strength runs out. So right now, just pause. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop. And in your own words, or mine, just say, God, I don't feel strong right now, but you are. So I receive your courage, not mine. Let that settle. Not loud, not forced, just real. Because something begins to shift when you stop trying to be enough on your own and start allowing His strength to hold you from the inside. Now we move from receiving to declaring. This is where your voice comes back, because fear has been speaking over you for a while, hasn't it? Quiet predictions, worst-case scenarios, that constant inner pressure, and if you stay silent, keeps echoing, growing louder, shaping how you see everything in front of you. So this step is simple, but it's powerful. You speak over your situation, not pretending everything is easy, not denying what you feel, but choosing a higher truth, even while your heart is still catching up, because your voice has authority when it aligns with what God has already said about the outcome. So say this out loud, or whisper it if you need to. The lion has overcome. This is not bigger than God. The battle is already mastered. Say it again, slower. Let your body hear it. Let your mind catch it. Because something shifts when fear is no longer the loudest voice in the room. And for the first time, you begin to feel it, a quiet strength rising. Not noise, not hype, just grounded courage. This is the moment where it becomes real. Not just something you feel, but something you do. Because courage isn't proven in comfort. It shows up in movement. And maybe part of you is waiting to feel completely ready, completely certain, completely fearless. But that moment usually doesn't come, because real faith often looks like taking a step while your stomach is still tight, while your thoughts are still catching up, while there's still a little shaking in your hands. Think about Peter the Apostle stepping out onto the water, or Moses standing before the unknown. They didn't move because they felt no fear. They moved because they trusted who was with them. So here's the question, gently, but honestly, what is the very next small step you need to take? Not the whole journey, just the next step. A message, a decision, a conversation, something simple, but real. Because the shift doesn't happen when everything changes at once. It happens the moment you decide to move forward anyway. And as you do, you begin to realize you're not doing this alone. You don't need a perfect environment. You just need a moment. Because this isn't something you only use once. It's something you carry with you into hallways, into quiet mornings, into those few seconds right before you walk into something that feels bigger than you. So here it is, simple and real. Acknowledge the fear. Okay, I feel this. Command it to step back. But you don't lead me. Receive strength. God, I take your courage now. Declare truth. The lion has overcome. And then move, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect. Now, I want you to do something with me. Type this or whisper it out loud. I am stepping into courage today. Not loudly, just honestly, because this is how it begins. Not with pressure, but with alignment. And as you carry this into your next step, you may start to notice something quiet but real. You're not as afraid as you were. Just stay here for a moment. No rush. Maybe close your eyes, if that feels okay. God, you see this moment clearly. You see the pressure they've been carrying, the thoughts that won't slow down, the quiet fear that keeps whispering that they're not ready, not strong enough, not capable of what's in front of them, and yet You haven't left them here to figure it out alone. So we bring it to you, not polished, not filtered, just honest. God, this fear feels real, feels close. Sometimes it even feels overwhelming. But right here we choose to release it, not because everything is certain, but because you are. So I ask you now, gently, fully, fill them with your courage. Let it settle in their chest. Let it steady their breathing. Let it quiet the noise that's been running in circles in their mind, and replace it with something stronger, something grounded, something unshakable. Remind them they are not walking into this alone, that you go before them, that you stand with them, that what feels impossible to them is already seen and held by you. And right now we receive that peace, strength, clarity. Just breathe it in. God, we trust you with this next step. And we say, quietly but firmly, I am not led by fear anymore. Something feels different now, even if it's subtle. Not everything changed, but something inside you did. Maybe your breathing is a little slower. Maybe the pressure isn't as loud. Or maybe, for the first time in a while, you feel a small sense of steadiness returning, like your feet are finally under you again. Even if the situation in front of you hasn't moved yet, that matters, because this is how renewal begins. Quietly, not in a rush of emotion, but in a grounded shift. And here's what I want you to hold on to. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step with God. So as you move forward from this moment into your day, into that conversation, into that decision, carry this with you. You are not shrinking anymore. You are aligning, not forcing courage, receiving it, not chasing victory, walking from it. And if fear tries to come back later, and it might, you already know what to do. Pause, return, realign, because now you have a way through it, and you're stronger than you were before. Stay with that feeling. You don't have to rush out of it. Just notice you made space, and something met you there. If this helped you even a little, just take one small step to anchor it. You can subscribe if you want more moments like this. Quiet reminders, steady guidance when things feel heavy. Or, if you need something practical, keep a simple version of this with you. A few lines, a short reset, something you can return to in the middle of real life. And before you go, just one more time, softly, I am stepping into courage today. That's enough for now. Go gently, but go forward.